Welcome back to The Seamless Life. Today, in the third installment of my sliding miter saw improvements, I'll be building a storage solution for the saw blades, further refining the clamp stand I made last time, and rewrapping the scratched up drawer with carbon film to give it a clean finish. Let's get started. I'll start by taking apart the existing drawer. This is the clamp stand I made earlier, but the slotted holes tend to slip under clamping pressure, so I'm switching to a bottom-mounted fixing method. After measuring without the angle bracket, the step came out to 6 millimeters, so I'll insert a 5 millimeters aluminum composite panel. The remaining 1 millimeter will be adjusted later using shims or a rubber sheet. I had previously painted it silver with some leftover heat-resistant paint, but since the tabletop will be finished with carbon film, I repainted the rest in matte black. For the carbon film, I'm using 3M Dinox CA 1170 again. I finished the edges by lightly sanding them with a sanding block. This greatly reduces the risk of peeling. I also decided to rebuild the drawer that holds the sliding miter saw. The structure is very simple, just a flat panel with drawer slides mounted on the sides. They're rated for around 20 kilograms, but they handle the load without any issues. I'll apply the carbon film to this drawer as well, but since it's being applied directly to wood, I'll use a primer first. It's applied simply with a brush, but since it dries very quickly, I spread it as fast as possible. Once the primer is dried, I'll apply the film, but first I remove any dust or debris on the surface using a metal scraper. If you skip this step, the imperfections will show through after applying the film, so it's a very important process. This is just my own method, but I start by fixing one corner first, then use a squeegee to work out the air bubbles from there. 3M's film is designed to release trapped air easily, so it's not particularly difficult to apply. And again, I sand down the edges. I don't use chamfering tools for this, as they tend to be inconsistent. With that, the drawer is complete. Next, I'll move on to the saw blade storage. Since the blades are a little over 2 millimeters thick, I decided to bond 3 millimeters aluminum composite panels to create pocket-style holders. Because the blades are taken out by gripping the center hole, stacking 4 in a single holder would make them difficult to remove. So, although it's a bit more work, I'll make 4 separate holders. I make them slightly oversized first, then trim all 4 sides on the sliding miter saw. Before that, I scrape off any excess glue from the first edge that goes against the fence. If I skip this step, it throws off all the reference dimensions. I finished these with 3M carbon film as well, but unlike wood, I don't use primer here. I do make sure to degrease the surface thoroughly though. Something kind of weird looking. They tended to roll out, so I tilted them slightly. Done. That works.